Okay, guys, good morning to all of you. Uh, just let me know if you can listen right. If you can listen very well, my voice right here. Okay, I guess yes. Let me see. Thank you, Jancy. So we have to start our class in this moment. Thank you, Sani. Okay, we're gonna be starting in this moment the class. Just about minimal players. I already uploaded these PPTs for you. You can download it whatever you want. And then also, we are going to be making a review at the end about word stress. So I hope you're ready and I hope you're okay this morning. I know that's very early in the morning, but thank you for staying right here. I know you are the morning people. And so we have to start right now. And so our topic is this one, minimal payers and word stress for this class. I know that you have a previous idea about minimal payers. Maybe you had never studied the minimal payers as today's class, because today we're gonna be including the symbols, not only the words but also the symbols. You will be watching how. And that's why it's important you have been memorized all the symbols, right? I know you have been. I know very well that you have been memorizing the symbols. You have been working with the symbols as a group, right? And it's important that everybody in this classroom had collaborated with the groups. So after this, you are going to be applying everything, every theory, every thing that you have already learned in the previous classes to this class. How you will enjoy it, believe me, because as I said, always, and as I said at the beginning of this semester, one day you're going to be teaching, and that day you're going to be um, taking for granted these classes, teach your kids, maybe you're going to be a kindergarten teacher or teaching to your students at the university or in a high school, whatever you're going to be teaching in the future, or you're going to be applying this class as well, because this is something which is not new. This is something that we have been learning and relearning, right? And studying and we're studying and teaching, generation through generations. So just try to pay attention to this following class. This is one of the most important classes you're going to be attending. Um, it's not an easy class, I know, because you have to handle the symbols and the sounds right every phoneme right now to distinguish the sounds. Remember that minimal pairs are very different in spelling, but the single similarity in pronunciation, but every word is having a different meaning. So these are the minimal pairs, right? Let me see. Right now we are in 18 people. Excellent. So this is something that I always um, left in this case because I think it's important you don't remember that we're having 44 sounds in the English language, 20 vowel sounds, and 24 consonant sounds in total, right? So this is our learning competency. And now the class, right? Minimal pairs. So minimal pairs is right here. This is just here you have two different kind of definitions. Number one says a minimal pair is two words, right? But before this, I want to ask to you, well, we're 23 right now. Okay, Andrea Esmeralda, can you please activate your microphone, Andrea Esmeralda?
Okay, hello.
Hello, can you please let me know in your own words, what's a minimal pair for you?
Mm, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. You had never studied this topic?
No.
Okay. So any person in the chat can write me if you have already studied this topic in your life during the career.
Mister. I guess that minimal pairs are the words that are pronounced almost in the same way, but a sound makes them vary, makes them different.
Okay, thank you. Yes, you're right. So a minimal pair of words or a words is when you made that comparison between two words or three words, right? They are having a different kind of spelling because they are written differently, but they are pronounced very similarity each other, but at the end they're having different kind of meanings. So Celine is telling to you, right, something which is very accurate because that's true. And that's minimal pair, right? So in the concepts right here, you have this. It's important you can memorize the concepts. At the end, remember that the most important part you can, like Celine, right? Express with your own words what a concept is, right? Or what a topic is, not trying to say every single word um, correctly. No, right? We're gonna be having our own concepts in our mind because one day someone will be asking to you, right? A teacher, a student, or any other person, what is a minimal pair? And you have to be explaining to this person quickly. Oh, a minimal pair, yeah, a minimal pair are two words having a similar pronunciation, almost a similar pronunciation, but different kind of spelling and meaning. So here you have this definition. A minimal pair is two words that vary, as the classmate said, right? But only a single sound, usually meaning sounds that may confuse English learners, like the in doing, like in fan and band, or the ENI, right? Like in test. So here you can find um, four different kind of words with four different kinds of meanings or four different kinds of spelling, but having similar kinds of pronunciation. That's a minimal pair example. You want to say something? Okay, nice. So then you have this one. Minimal pairs are two words that are pronounced almost in the same way, but they have one sound that makes them different. The sound can be a vowel or a consonant, like in the example below, cut and goat. So you can see just one consonant, a letter makes a difference in this word. So you are understanding? I guess yes, right? Right now I wanna take to you right to another thing. Is this one? Can you see it? Yes, right? Let me see. Nice. Hello, Joanna. Can you please read this? This is another topic, pero lo he dejado para que vean un poquito la similitud de ellos. Okay, can you please read this one?
Until or
Let me see. Until carry. To carry.
until differently.
Until to carry.
Linguistic publicity refers to the ability of a word or phrase to have meanings. Listening is like words that are spelled and pronounced the same way but have different meanings. Fall into the category of words that are hard to find phonetically without context. An example of a homonym is the word deer, the animal, and bear, the carry.
Thank you. That's all. Thank you, Joanna, for your participation. You can see here, now I'm gonna ask you, right? Because this is the point. Let me see. So anybody in this classroom can answer. What is the difference between a polysemy word and a minimum payer word? What can you say? Mind someone telling to you, right? Asking to you, a question to you to ask. What is the difference between a polysemy word and a minimal payer word? What's the difference now, guys? Let me see. They differ in sounds and a meaning. So both, remember, both differs in meaning because both will be having different kind of meanings.
Well,
Minimal players,
I think that the difference is that in listening, the words are always right the same spelling,
okay,
and in minimal players it's different. It grows like say one vowel and one consonant.
okay, got it. That's true, right? If you make a Venn diagramming right now, you can say, well, I will be writing the similarities and the difference between polysemies and minimal pairs. So in today's class or today's lesson is about minimal pairs, but it's always important to take this into account, the polysemy words. Why? Because when you hear the word polysemy, sometimes you can tend to get confused about minimal pairs, polysemy, and homonyms. So we will be working in homonyms later. Um, but right here you had polysemy. Polysemy is the word used to express that two different kind of words are spelled the same, because in this one, the both words are spelled the same, right? Are written the same, but having different kind of meanings. And right here you have that it's very important to take into account the semantic field. Why? Because it's never understood the word without the semantic aspects or the context. In other words, if you're having the word book, for example, you know that the word book can have two different kind of meaning, right? So this is a polysemy word. You have the word water, and you know that the word water is having two different kind of word. I mean, meaning. You're having the word, let me see, um, the word wood, water, item, and you know that the word item is having two different kind of meaning, um, in many other words, right? Let me see. In the chat, I'm having some examples. Okay, excellent. So that's a polysemy word. You're right, and that's a polysemy word. Now, a minimal pair word is different, right? Now you know the meaning. Let me see. Let me see in our groups. Isaac Gutierrez, can you please speak, Isaac Gutierrez?
Yes.
Sir, can you please explain with using your own words what is the difference between polysemy and minimal pairs?
I just in the class, mister.
Okay, got it. Um, so any other person? Now Marisol Rivera. Now you know the difference.
Hello?
Hello? Can you
Yeah,
please, okay, can you please say using your own words the difference between polysemy and minimal pairs?
I think the polygyny focus on the use of the word in the in different contexts,
Uh-huh.
and the minimal pairs, they only vary in the, they have different meaning, but only vary in their sounds from some group of words, I think.
Okay, nice. Okay, got it. So that's minimal pair word, right? Having almost the same pronunciation, but differs in spelling, because like in this example, right? You can have the word cuts and coats, and when you are solving a listening task, maybe you get confused with some words, or gets an error, right, to identify the exact answer, because you tend to confuse the words. So this is something which is very confused sometimes, right? To understand it better. Right now, you can see, oh wow, this is not a difficult topic. But when you have this topic into a listening task, right, or into a conversation, sometimes you know that this is a very important topic. So I have already, um, let me see, I have already gotten a lot of mistakes when I have to solve some listening tasks. Remember, believe me, this is something that happens to all of us, right? That's why we have to study and restudy. So continue. Here you have this. These pairs have nothing to do with spelling or meaning. The words sound similar, but they don't mean the same thing. Their definition had nothing to do with each other. Okay, remember, minimal pairs are written differently. They are pronounced almost the same, but they are having different meanings. So they differs in meanings. Like in the examples in the picture, cats and hats are not the same, right? But they are spelled differently just by one consonant. They are having similar sounds, but they had similar, different kind of meanings. So in the polysemy examples that I showed you before, it says semantic context. Why semantic context? Because remember that the semantic tend to study the meanings, the pictures, and the context in use. The semantic field is the one that the teachers say. If you don't understand this word, try to understand the context. In other words, try to understand the semantic. That's why in the polysemy word, you need to understand the semantic context. You need to know the main idea, right? You need to know about the conversation. You need to know about the general aspects of the conversation to understand the word. Because if you are just trying to translate every single word, you're gonna be having a mistake or having an error, right, at the end, like in book. Because if someone say, I need to book, right? I need to book some ticket for tomorrow. If you listen to that sentence and you start translating every single word, maybe you will be understanding that book means libro in Spanish, right? And at the end, the translation will be very not accurate. Reservar, exactly. So now you have this one. They might be spelled very differently, but the actual sounds called phonemes will be quite similar. Or the two words, minimal pair might be spelled very similarly with just one different letter, like an example, right? So until this moment, everybody has understood this lesson, the concept, right? Or is someone in this group that has problem to understand this? Let me see. Maria Bertila. Have you understood the lesson, Maria Bertila?
Hello?
Hello? Have you understood? ¿Todos hemos entendido a esta lección de los polísemis, perdón, de los minimal pairs? Yes, you say yes, okay, nice. Remember, guys, that it's not just expressing to the teacher, right? Yes, it is because I know that I have already learned. Why? Because this is for you and only for you. I am always worried about my students to stay in the class, right? Not only in this group, but also in all of the groups that I'm having in a single year. Because sometimes they say, yes, I understood, right? Or they are just here, but then they are not here. They pretend to be here. And I'm not telling you off, right? This is not the point because it's your own life and you know what you're doing with your own life, your others, right? And I respect that.
Mister,
Uh-huh.
just are two words that vary by only a single sound, but usually meaning sound that may confuse English. But I think I'm sure that I can understand this topic, so thank you.
Okay, nice. No, no, I'm telling you this because um, this is a group having 47 students, I think, and I can assume that 7 students are paying attention right in every class. Why I say this because according to didactic, in a single class, sometimes the teacher is just teaching to 5 or 7 students, and I don't want you to stage right or showing the same attitude into this class because remember that one day you have to teach this, right? You have to transmit these ideas to others. Last day, I mean, some years ago, right? I was taking an exam, and I remember that some student were explaining a topic. Well, I was taking an exam for getting my escalafon number 1, and I remember that a group of students said, "Well, in the exams, we noticed some phonics, right, or phonetics words or some phonetics questions, and we were not able to answer correctly because we we studied the phonetic classes, right? Not like we have to study, and we were having some problems to answer those questions because we didn't know about the theory. So they didn't know about minimal pairs. They didn't know about polyphony. They didn't know about the difference between these topics. And I was like paying attention, right? And I said, why, right? So in that moment, I remember I was teaching phonetics at the university when I took this exam. So for me, it was not so difficult, right? But they felt that the exam was very hard. Why? Because sometimes we are not paying attention to classes. Sometimes we don't want to learn, right? We don't want to learn. We don't want to improve our English. And as I said before, I'm not telling you off, right? I'm just telling to you that you have to make that effort to learn. You have to do it because if you don't career, you don't like, and this is what you're gonna be doing, right? In 2 years. Maybe you're doing it right now. I know that some of you are teachers. Or maybe you will be doing this one the next year, teaching. And that's good. But you have to do it great. So continue with our class. This is something that I just want to say, just want to add, right? So time to review, right? This is now the time to do this, right? Because I know that you have been um, paying attention to every class, and I will be asking to you. Today we're gonna be studying only the vowels part, right? Okay, nice. Here you have some the vowels symbols and the consonant symbols at the same time. And what we're gonna be doing right now is to understand every single used in minimal pairs. So it's different, right? Because I know that you have been studying minimal pairs only at the university or in that subject you attended before this one. I don't remember the name exactly. It's about pronunciation, right? English pronunciation, something like this. One of your teacher told me, no, they attended before phonetics pronunciation, something like this. This is a subject, a new subject at the university, I guess. And I know that in that subject you study the minimal pairs, but now you're gonna be studying the minimal pairs using the symbols. It's different, right? Oh, it's not so difficult. It's almost the same, but right now you're gonna be watching the symbols, and I know that you're gonna be identifying the symbols and knowing every single, I mean every symbol into the minimal pair. So right now, let me see. Um, you were working on this, right? Stephanie Patricia, you're here, Stephanie Patricia? No? Okay. Let me see another person. Jessica Noemi. Okay. So here you have the vowel sounds, right? Choose with the vowel symbols. As you can see, you're having eagle, feel, busy, started. You're having put, should, view, through, right? That said, polish, that, with the schwa, right? So every single symbol is having a single sound. And you previously to this class studied every single just in an anthology story, right? Remember, together as a group. You will be working together. You were right, trying to understand the symbols. And I know, and I have been reading everything. No, he said that. Okay, so right now you will be studying just the vowel sounds. Pay attention to the vowel sounds. This is the main point for the class, right? To understand the vowel sound, choosing minimal pairs. They are not so difficult. You will watch it. The next class, we will be studying consonant sounds. And let me see. The last class of this month, we have to make a review. Oh, in the next class, we have to study intonation, then breathing. Then you are ready to take the quiz, right? So the quiz will be attached in the platform for the next Saturday. You will be having, I guess, 1 week to do it. I think 1 week is okay for you to do it. Yes, I think it's gonna be about minimal pairs, reading, intonation, and word stress. Remember that we already studied word stress, right? Today we're studying minimal pairs. At the end of this day, we have to make a review about word stress. Then we have to study. Yes.
Can you please repeat the information you said, please?
Okay. I was telling to you that we're gonna be working this period, this second period about minimal pairs, word stress, intonations, and rhythm. Only for this month, right? And you have to take a quiz about these 4 topics. So in the previous class, we studied word stress. In today's class at the end, we have to make a review about word stress. The next class, we have to continue with minimal pairs using consonant sounds and intonation. Then we are gonna be making a review about minimal pairs and rhythm. Then you're ready to take your quiz number 1, I guess. Or yeah, I think you're ready. So pay attention to this. We're having these minimal pairs right here that says using sit and sit, right?
Mister, can you please repeat the topics? It's because you say it super quickly and I couldn't write it down.
The topic for this month are word stress, minimal pairs, rhythm, and intonation.
Okay, thank you. So you are going to put this topic on the lab. Okay.
You're gonna be having these 4 topics for the lab.
The lab one is going to be?
I guess the lab will be attached the next Saturday, or I'm not sure about this, right? I'm not sure if I have to upload the lab mean the next Saturday or until
Okay, thanks.
Saturday from this one to the second one.
Okay.
Okay, here you have this one, right? So the first minimal pair is using sets. You can see, you can read here and sets as indicated by the the dots, right? Parted symbols. E, in this case, is using a longer sound than E. Let me see. Oh, that's a good question, Cindy. I will be explaining this later. Okay, it says the longer sound than I, and pronouncing in this way can help distinguish between the two in the pairs of words below. You will also notice, however, that the I, right, doesn't have a touch over it, making it a different mouth position from E in this case, or I. The sound I is said with the mouth much more spread, something like a broad smile. And here you have some words, right, that are having almost the same pronunciation, but different in meanings and different in spelling. So pay attention to the pronunciation. Let me see if you can listen.
bin, bean, chip, cheap, his, he's, it, eat, sit, seat.
Okay,
EnglishClub.com, where teaching and learning are fun.
nice. Were you able to listen to this? ¿Pudieron escuchar la pronunciación?
Yes.
Nice. I know that this is something which is not so new for you, for some of you, right? Or difficult for some of you. But I know that's a very important topic. And this is how we have to learn it, and this is how we have to teach it, right? So in the English language, we're gonna be finding many words with similar sounds, right? Here, I know that you say, well, this is not so difficult because you're watching the word, right? But what about in a listening task? It's very different in a listening task. We're gonna be practicing choosing this later, but not in this class, right? Because I had to prepare it for you, but I will be bringing for you the next class, something related to the TOEFL test in the listening part, right section, using the minimal pairs in listening task. So you will be notice the difference between watching the words and listening to the words. It's not the same. That's very interesting. So now you have this one. That means you, Carlos Alfredo, can you please help me to read these short concepts right here?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Uh-huh.
The concept.
Yes.
Okay. Bad sounds are short, with E being pronounced with a wider mouth, almost in a kind of smile. This makes it much closer to the long sound E that it is the short sound E.
Nice.
And the examples too, or
okay,
not?
do it.
Okay. Belt and built, fall and feel, hit and head, left and lift, mess and miss.
Okay, now let me see if you have already pronounced well your words, and it says
Belt,
oh, sorry.
belt, built, fell, fill, head, hid, left, lift, mess, miss.
Nice, excellent. So continue. Now you have this one right, because remember, we have this, I mean, we're gonna be watching this, right? These symbols, now you have the symbols right here, and you can see the difference between the symbols just in words. I know you're watching it. I know you are paying attention, and now you can distinguish, right? And now you know the meaning exactly about minimal pairs. We already studied this part using set and set. This one using task and task. Now this one, right, using what and wait. Almost the same pronunciation. Let me see. In this case, A is a short single sound that is pronounced without your mouth moving, whereas A is a diphthong or a merging of two sounds and your mouth gets smaller as you are making the sound. Let me see. I will be asking for help in this moment. What about um, Reina Sofía Alvarenga? Oh, yes, Alvarenga. Reina Sofía, you're here?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, can you please read the words?
Yes, okay.
Nice.
The 15th?
Yeah, 15. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Bed, bathe, bread, braid, fell, fail, get, gate, ill, ill, let, late, aim, pain, pain, rest, raced, ace, sail, sail, touch, take, test, taste, will, whale, west, and waste.
Nice. Now pay attention to the correct pronunciation, maybe. You differ in some, right? But don't worry, it's okay.
bed, bade, bread, braid, fell, fail, get, gate, L, ale, let, late, M, aim, pen, pain, rest, raced, S, ace, sell, sail, tech, take, test, taste, well, whale, west, waste. EnglishClub.com, where teaching and learning are
Perfect. So you did it very well, right? Just some pronunciation were not so accurate, well said, like S, right? I know you were thinking about short sounds, and that's okay. Or in tech, right? Because you say teach. Don't worry, it's okay. You have to get the similar sounds in both, trying to get it right. But I think that this moment, this class have understood the topic quickly and very well. And now if you need to teach this right to others, you will be quickly saying, well, minimal pair refers to two words having almost the same pronunciation, but differing in spelling and in meaning. Now you know, and now I know that because you are demonstrating to me right in this moment. Remember, this is your only one opportunity. Maybe this is the day to practice your English, to speak, um, to read, to say something. That's okay for me, right? If you want to say something, do it. If you want to participate, raise your hand. If you want to read the words, do it. Okay, you're permitted. Don't worry. Now let me see. We're having this one. In bats, right? It's almost the same pronunciation. We're having this one. I and are the two classic vowel sounds in English, and so it is very difficult to hear and pronounce the difference. In fact, in some American accents, there is no distinction between the two. It is still worth language learners working on the difference between them. However, as there are many words that vary only by this sound. So in simple words, to understand the difference between the I and the R, right? or the short vowel sound choosing in is not so easy as it seems. As you can read in these concepts, even the native speakers are having difficulties to understand the difference between this one. At the end, they say they are pronounced the same, and that's it. So it's easy to say that, right? Because in the concept you read, in some American accent, there is no distinction. So just think about this, right? Yeah, exactly, Cindy. It's what we're gonna be doing is very simple. We have to use the semantic field. Remember, like in polysemy, we have to use that part. Vamos a hacer uso, en este caso, de la semántica. Aquí sí no nos toca de otra, porque son, bueno, en escritura son diferentes, pero en pronunciación son prácticamente iguales. ¿Qué hacemos? Bueno, la semántica. La semántica, que es una de las ramas de la lingüística, que es aquella que se trata, o mejor dicho, aquella que estudia el significado del contexto, de la imagen y la producción del sonido al mismo tiempo, nos lleva a un tipo de conversación. Eso hace la semántica. Nos lleva a un tipo de contexto natural. Entonces nosotros, cuando hacemos uso de la semántica, comprendemos de qué está hablando. Por eso que en el examen TOEFL, cuando nos dicen, what does the woman mean? Eso es semántica. Aquí se refiere a la mujer. Es pura semántica. Yo tengo que entender el contexto. ¿Por qué? Porque cuando yo veo en el examen, porque la vez pasada estábamos estudiando con unos muchachos y mirábamos, escuchábamos, perdón, una pregunta una conversación que hablaba de grass, de la grama. Entonces, y en la respuesta decía, bueno, en la conversación decía algo como, the men need to cut the grass. Y en la respuesta decía, bueno, la pregunta era, y la mujer decía, no, la mujer le preguntaba, are you free this coming Friday? Y el hombre respondía como, no, I have to cut the grass, algo así. Entonces la pregunta era, what does the mean? Y aquí la parte del minimal pair, la semántica y todo jugamos mucho, ¿verdad? Para poder entender la respuesta. En esa conversación corta, una de las respuestas decía, the man broke the glass. Entonces, si usted no entendía que era grass, probablemente se iba a dejar ir con glass. Pero es muy, muy similar. Entonces, ¿qué hacíamos? Bueno, la parte semántica, ¿verdad? Porque en las respuestas aparecía la palabra LUM. Y no sé si ustedes han usado esa palabra de LUM. L-A-W-M, LUM. Tiene que ver también con podar el césped. Si usted no sabía eso, entonces probablemente le iba a decir que la respuesta de class era la correcta. ¿Qué hacíamos? Bueno, la parte semántica, comprender el contexto. No tanto dejarme ir por el mismo sonido, sino por comprender el contexto. Eso es una habilidad que la que suene diferente es la correcta. Eso es semántica, que es lo mismo que hacemos aquí. Suenan muy similares, pero entonces, ¿qué voy a hacer? Tengo que hacer uso de las partes semánticas. Claro, ¿verdad? Cuando un maestro le dice a usted, when a teacher is saying to you, use the context, it's easy to say that. It's easy to say that, especially to students who are very skillful. But what about those students who are having some problems in words or in vocabulary? They're going to be finding in a big trouble at the end. Comprende? So now here you have some words. Let me see. Let me ask to help me, right? Boy, let me see. Douglas Ariel, you're here, Esperanza. Okay, Hope is not here. Let's see another boy. Daniel Ulises. You're here, Daniel Ulises?
Yes, I'm here.
Nice. Can you please read these 5 words? 5 examples,
Okay,
right?
right. But, butter, butter, cup, cup, cat, cup, match, mash.
Okay. Let me see. Let me ask you someone else if this person is having the same idea as you. Grisel Enrique. You're here, lady? Grisel? No? Okay, what about you, Celine? You're here, Celine? You're always here, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
here I am.
Okay, do you agree with the pronunciation?
In most of the words, yeah, but in some of them, no.
Okay, how do you say it?
Do I read the 5 of them?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But, butter, butter, cup, cup, cat, cut, much, much.
Nice. Now listen to the recording audio, right?
Bat, but, batter, butter, cap, cup, cat, cut, match, much. EnglishClub.com, where teaching.
Almost the same, right? They are almost the same pronunciation. Ellos sí, miren, aquí es más accurate todavía. Si se dan cuenta, en este tipo de vocales, en sonido corto, todavía son como que más similares que nosotros. Entonces, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Hagamos uso del contexto. Hagamos uso de qué se está hablando. Claro, si un examen TOEFL, como les mencionaba en el ejemplo, me sale algo así porque el examen TOEFL de ustedes solo contiene una conversación de segundos, ¿verdad? No dura minutos, dura segundos, de la 1 a la 30. No es que va a durar minutos, sino segundos, pero en esos segundos ellos van a utilizar palabras similares y hacen bastante uso de las minimal pairs para responder. Y una de las, como les decía, una de las habilidades es que la que suene similar es la incorrecta. Tiene que sonar distinto. O sea, un sinónimo. So continue. Now this one, right? We're having so and so. Let me see. The sound of O, like no or O, is a diphthong, meaning two vowel sounds blended into one. You should be able to see the mouth moving from one position to other while making the sound. With the mouth becoming smaller and rounder, you can emphasize and control this holding your hand in front of your mouth and bringing the fingers in towards each other as you move from the first part of the sound to the last part. The sounds of O, like example, right? So or is a single sound, is a single long sound, sorry. The mouth doesn't move while making the sound, and you can pronounce it as long as you have breath. They are not too difficult, right? Like in the word go, these are long vowel sounds. It's not a short vowel sound, it's a long vowel sound. Let me ask you someone to read this. You need to practice, right? Josué Velázquez. Are you here, Josué Velázquez?
Yes, mister.
Can you please read the 3 examples?
Ball, O, or, so and so. No, so and so. I guess.
Okay, nice. Now pay attention.
bowl, ball. O, or, so, saw. EnglishClub.com, where teaching and learning are fun.
Okay, nice. Now this one, can you please, Raquel, read the concept, please? Can you please do it? Can you please read it?
Yeah, I can read. I can read.
Okay.
Okay, but I have this difficult with the okay, I'm gonna try. A is a short single song made without the mouth moving. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And it's a big song, a longer song made of two song, meaning that the mouth moves during production of the song.
Okay, thank you. Now the examples. Continue with the examples.
Okay. Got, hop, hop, on, out.
Nice. Excellent. It's pronounced like that, right? Like ah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I want to show you something else, but he perdido lo que les quería mostrar hace rato, pero se me escapó, lo quité por error. Creo que con ustedes no lo practiqué esto, pero permítame que lo perdí por error. Maybe I can find it for you. It's great, it's nice, right? Let me see. Okay. Oh, okay. Ya lo encontré. Es siempre de leer. Creo que no se los he puesto. Si ya se los puse, me disculpan, ¿verdad? Pero si no fue a ustedes, pues vamos a practicarlo. Es muy bueno. Es este. This one. Let me see. Vamos a ver. Un voluntario. Who wanna read this? ¿Quién quiere leerlo? Who wanna read it? Okay. Nice, Reina. Do it.
Okay, I don't see myself as a person who will ever fully retire. I like to keep busy and I have trouble relaxing. If I want to spend a few hours reading or listening to music, I usually schedule it into my daybook. I find that if I don't force myself to relax from time to time, I always find some sort of projects or work to do. So I may not want to hold a paying job in the medical field when I am older. I will probably volunteer in a third world country rather than retire. I'm lucky that I've found work that I'm interested in. If I grow tired of my job, I may feel differently when the time comes.
Nice. How do you feel reading this? How do you feel reading this?
So.
Nice.
Something difficult and some words,
Difficult?
some of them.
Okay, les voy a compartir el link para que ustedes puedan practicar después. Ahora, wait a minute. Para que puedan practicar. De hecho, esto nos ayuda bastante a mejorar nuestro speaking, ¿verdad? Nuestra pronunciación. Prestemos atención y tratemos de identificar si la compañera lo leyó bien, así como lo va a decir la persona en este pequeño audio. 1, 2, 3.
I don't see myself as a person who will ever fully retire. I like to keep busy, and I have trouble relaxing. If I want to spend a few hours reading or listening to music, I usually schedule it into my date book. I find that if I don't force myself to relax from time to time, I always find some sort of project or work to do. Though I may not want to hold a paying job in the medical field when I'm older, I will probably volunteer in a third world country rather than retire. I'm lucky that I found work that I'm interested in. If I grow tired of my job, I may feel differently when the time comes.
Brought to you.
Okay, nice. Can you now say something about this? Our classroom pronouns exactly the same. No en todas, ¿verdad? No en todas, pero sí en la mayoría. Este tipo de actividades, las que les acabo de poner, ustedes pueden irlas repasando. Hay otras, ya les voy a poner otra de otro momento, que son muy similares a lo que hemos estado haciendo. Y aquí nos podemos ir midiendo qué tanto estamos mejorando, qué tanto estamos hablando, ¿verdad? Podemos ir nosotros midiendo nuestra pronunciación. Estoy diciendo bien, estoy diciendo mal. Si ustedes cuando tengan tiempo, háganlo. Les va a ayudar bastante. Estas son cosas que todos hemos hecho. Todos seguimos esto mismo, ¿verdad? Tratamos de leerlo, escucharnos, leer, escucharnos para saber si vamos bien. So continue. Now this one, it says, like in A and E, these two sounds are the same in your language. It may be difficult for you to pronounce them differently because native speakers pronounce A in several different ways. Well, A, right, it's quite similar to E. The clearest difference is that A is spoken with a wider, more stretched mouth. You can make this clear by seeing how your mouth gets wider and wider as you go from E and E. So here you have some examples. Let me see. Okay, Kelvin. Okay, Kelvin, yes, having problems. Jancy Maribel.
Good morning, mister.
Morning. Can you please read the 10 examples?
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, in, and, X, bag, bed, had, head, ham, hem, I don't know. Okay, pen, pad, head, sad, said, sat, sit.
Nice, thank you. Now listen.
And, end, axe, X, bag, beg, had, head, ham, hem, jam, gem, pan, pen, pat, pet, sad, said, sat, set. EnglishClub.com, where teaching and learning are fun. And.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, now let me see. Oh, we had this one, right? Here you have both sounds are long, like in past and first. Remember to pronounce very well the first, right? It's not first. Long single sounds, but the mouth position is different. Mouth position, sorry, is different. With having a much wider open mouth position. This is why your doctor asks you to say this sound to show him or her inside your mouth. And a error in this case, right first, is much more like the sound people make when they are disgusted. Okay. Remember, vamos a pronunciar la A como A y cuando tengamos sonido de de R, ¿verdad? Con una vocal, ya sea de E o de A o de I, como la de I, por ejemplo, no vamos a decir IR, sino ¿ok? Aclaro esto para que se nos quite la idea de decir first. Comencemos a decir first. Ok, Johnny Liam. John is not in class. Okay. Bella Lorena Reyes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Read the 6 examples.
Okay, I will try. Okay. But, bird, for, third, heart, 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 hair, heart, purse, purse.
Okay. Now pay attention to the pronunciation.
Bath, birth, far, fur, ha, her, hard, heard, heart, hurt, purse. EnglishClub.com, where teaching and learning are fun.
Nice. Now you have this one. Let me now just ask you to read the examples. Help me out, Cindy and Melcy. It says the main distinction between these two sounds is that the in this case the A, right, is shorter than A, but mouth position is almost different. The reason the doctors say A is that I uses a wide open mouth. Okay, lady, can you please read it?
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Back, bark, fat, heart, hat, hard, hat, heart, jazz, jars.
Excellent. And here you have it.
Back, bark, fat, fart, had, hard, hat, heart, jazz, jars.
Nice. So now you have this one, right? Like in fat and cups. The biggest difference between these two sounds is that A, which is short vowel, and ow is a long one. The mouth position is also slightly different, with the mouth in ow being slightly tighter and more rounded. And after this, you have this one as well. And in this one, you had both of these sounds are big tones, like in no, no. Oh, well, in here, remember that you're not going to be pronouncing any K before an M, right? Like the L before a D. Meaning single vowel sounds during which the mouth more or less moves between the two different shapes as the speaker is moving between two short vowel sounds. The easiest way to pronounce the sounds correctly is to combine plus short vowel sounds, which can be seen in the two symbols that make up each victim's phonemic symbols. Me asked you to read these, right? These are very interesting. What about you? Ya, creo que les pregunté casi todo, ¿verdad? Creo que a Chesley Vanessa no le he pedido que nos colabore. Chesley Vanessa, you're here?
Yes, mister.
Okay, read examples.
Okay. How, now, no, loud, loud, phoneme, fun, road, road, bow, bubble, road, route.
Okay.
Ho, how. Known, noun. Load, loud. Phoned, found. Road, rowed. Vowel, vowel. Wrote, route.
Okay, nice. Let me see. Okay, we have already finished this one. And remember this class from, or remember this topic from the last class? Remember? I guess yes, right? Wait a minute. So I was just gonna say something to someone here. Very good. ¿Recuerdan de esta clase de What is a word stress? Les explicaba que hay, que es donde cae la mayor fuerza de voz, ¿verdad? Que en español nosotros tenemos las tildes para ellos, la prosódica y la ortográfica, pero que en inglés no existen las tildes, pero sí la mayor fuerza de voz y eso se le conoce como word stress. Y les explicaba que va a depender si es un noun, si es un adjective, si es una preposition, si es un adverb, o si es un adjective, and so on. Vamos a ver, solo esto es un review. Nice, Celine, thank you. Okay, but here I have some rules, and I know you know the rules now very well. You have been working on this, right? Okay, continue. It says, word stress. No, it's not this one. The one I want to see here. Things to remember. I told you this one, right? A word can only have one stress, remember, and the stress must be only in vowels, not in the consonant. Yes, nouns and adjectives. If you're having nouns or adjectives, remember that the word stress will be in the first syllables. I helped you to distinguish between Spanish syllables and English syllables in the previous class. I remember that every single syllable is formed by sounds, not by the number of vowels you're having in a word. But remember this, right? In nouns and adjectives, the word stress must be at the beginning or in the first parts of the word. Estamos acá. En esta de los sustantivos o adjetivos, recuerden que la mayor fuerza de voz va a caer siempre en la primera sílaba, no al final, o sea que no van a pronunciar samples, cartón, colorful, no, right? Or rainy, no, you're not going to pronounce this like this. No vamos a pronunciarlo así, sino que si es un adjetivo o un sustantivo, la mayor fuerza de voz va a caer al inicio, en la primera sílaba. ¿Qué decíamos luego? We say this. If you're having verbs and prepositions, the word stress must be in the second or the last one. Va a caer en la segunda sílaba, como en relax, receive, direct, among, aside, between. No van a decir relax, no, relax, receive, no, right? Direct, no. You have to remember this. If you are pronouncing nouns and adjectives, the word stress must be in the first syllable. If you're having or pronouncing verbs and preposition, the word stress must be in the second syllable. Okay, then you have words ending in, well, when ends in I, remember, says the concept if there is a word that ends in a consonant or in a Y, then the first syllable gets the stress. Sí, aunque sea verdad, un verbo u otro tipo de palabra que rompa las reglas anteriores, pero que terminen en una consonante o en una Y, la primera sílaba tendrá el mayor fuerza de voz. Container, no container. Y también hablábamos de esto, si decíamos de estos sufijos, for words ending with the suffixes er or ly, the stress is placed on the first syllable. Si estábamos hablando, les comentábamos de una palabra que termine en ese tipo de sufijos, la mayor fuerza de voz va a caer en la primera sílaba, no en ello. Pero... Ok, let me see. Then you have these ones. Si tenemos prefijos como estos, sin any, pre, ex, or mis, en ellos caerá la mayor fuerza de voz. This is just a review, right? And dual rules, in this case, hablamos, este es un polysemy, este es un polysemy. Si teníamos una palabra, hablábamos que funciona como dos, por ejemplo, en el caso de water, ¿me pueden dar el ejemplo de water? Si tenemos este tipo de regla, si termina, si water es una polysemy word, o ya sabemos que es una polysemy word, va a tener dos tipos de formas para entender el acento, ¿verdad? La mayor fuerza de voz. Si water está utilizado como sustantivo, ¿a dónde iría la mayor fuerza de voz? Es sustantiva. Iría en la primera sílaba, ¿verdad? Porque es un sustantivo. Pero si es un verbo, water iría en la última sílaba. ¿Entendimos a eso?
Yes, mister.
Nice. Excellent. Perfect. Then you were having this one. Okay, compound words. Teníamos las palabras compuestas en sustantivas como island, toothpaste, and seafood. Si es una compound noun word, va a recaer el word stress en el primer sustantivo, no en el segundo, ¿verdad? Recuerden que este es un compound. Un compound es algo que va compuesto, es algo que se forma entre dos sustantivos, como keeper, otra vez les mencionaba bookkeeper. Snowman, otro, snowman, es otra. Then you are having compound adjectives, eso sería dos adjetivos juntos, y les enseñé que si una palabra va unida y contiene un hyphen en medio, toda la vida es un adjetivo, así como si lleva un apóstrofe. También les dije eso. Then you are having verbs, compound verbs. Si hay dos verbos, ¿verdad? En una oración, el último verbo va a tener la mayor fuerza de voz, como acá. Multiple lot spread, but butter. Noun plus compound nouns. Puede ser que haya un compound noun y exista después otro noun. En este caso, va a aplicar la misma regla anterior. El primer noun contiene la mayor fuerza de voz y los otros no, ¿verdad? Y después tenemos esos ejemplos. Now, guys, I will be taking to you to read. Vamos a leer. Having for you these parts. Vamos a ver millionaires before the age of 20. How did they do it? Miren estas historias fascinantes. Me encantan a mí y me da vergüenza a veces. Son muchachos que bien chiquitos y son millonarios. Vamos a ver. Vamos a pedir acá que nos ayude hasta el primer párrafo, ¿verdad? Para que tengamos oportunidad todos, o la mayoría, o algunos. Let me see. Oh, volunteer. Who wanna read? Who wants to start reading? Un voluntario y quiera leer hasta el primer párrafo nada más. Just the first paragraph.
May I?
Okay. Do it.
Okay, Fraser, right?
Okay.
Fraser Doherty. Scotland-born Fraser Doherty was taught how to make jam by his grandmother. Until what part?
Just the first paragraph. The whole paragraph.
Okay. To make, using her recipe when he was 40 years old. At first, he only sold the jam he produced to the people in his neighborhood. Then he left school at 16 in order to concentrate on jam production. Doherty's Super Jam Company now supplies all the major UK stores and had sales of over 1.2 million pounds in 2011. His company is currently worth 2 million pounds.
Nice. Excellent. Thank you so much. Who wants to continue reading the second paragraph? A volunteer? Any volunteer who want to continue reading the second paragraph? No one?
May I?
Can
Okay.
I?
Yeah, the first person who said. Okay, lady. Mhm.
He also started a charity called Super Jam Tea Parties, so as to provide tea parties for lonely elderly people who live alone or in care homes. There were 120 such as events in the first year, with the largest events attracting over 600 guests. The company also organized kinathons, encouraging people to knit for good causes. Because of the Fraser's initiative, several thousand night squares were made, sent into blankets, and sent to orphanage in India in the first 12 months.
Thank you. Let me see. Okay, the second person who said, may I, at the same time to your classmates, can you please continue reading?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Doherty was the 2000 Global Student Entrepreneur of the Year, an international award given to the top student entrepreneur worldwide. More than 75 students from around the world compete for the Convid Prize each year.
Okay.
I don't know if, okay.
Okay, you can see this man, right? Started a company, now he is a billionaire before he's 20. Nice, right? It's a good short story. Now the second one, it says, aquí hay un ejemplo de lo que mirábamos ahorita del word stress. Estamos acá en una palabra compuesta, que es una adjetiva. Estamos Scotland, Warren, Fraser, Doherty, al principio. Lleva un hyphen, por lo tanto es un adjetivo. Y recuerden que todo lo que se escribe antes de un sustantivo es un adjetivo. Fácil, ¿verdad? Formas de uso del adjetivo. Okay, now the second reading. Who wants to start reading it? ¿Quién quiere leerlo?
I want.
Okay, do it.
Okay. Nick D'Aloisio is a computer programmer and internet entrepreneur from London. He is summarizes stories and which was downloaded by nearly 1 million people when it was first released.
Okay, nice. Por lo si alguien no sabe, released es como lanzado. Entonces, algo se lanza al mercado, se dice release. Okay, now another person want to continue reading the second paragraph.
May I?
Yes.
Aloisio got his first MacBook age 9 and used it to edit home videos in 2008 when the Apple App Store was announced. Aloisio, then just 12, went into an Apple Store and asked one of the assistants how to make an app. They didn't know, so he had to wait another few months before the App Store was released. Publicity, and in the meantime, he taught himself basic programming. When he launched his first app, Fingermill, a treadmill for fingers. In August 2008, he made 79 euro. I don't know if on the first day he went to make several more up and gradually learn more and more.
Thank you. Okay. Now, just one last person, right, to finish this reading. Volunteer to finish.
May I?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. Do it. Se le cortó. Celine, ¿se le fue el sonido o soy yo el que no lo escucha?
Yeah, sorry. Some
No, don't
kicked
worry.
me out, but here I am.
Okay.
Okay. The last paragraph, right?
Yes.
Okay. In March 2013, Zoomly was sold to Yahoo for a reported $30 million US, making him one of the youngest self-made millionaires ever. He has been awarded Innovator of the Year by the Wall Street Journal and was also included in the Time magazine's Time 100 as one of the world's most influential teenagers.
Nice. Thank you so much. So guys, this is the end, right, of this class. Vamos a quedarnos hasta acá. En el otro bloque les aparece una pequeña actividad como clase síncrona. Miren, la actividad es un reading, así como los que ponemos acá, pero más complicado porque es un software reading y tiene algunas preguntas, ¿verdad? No es evaluado. Lo voy a decir acá, no es evaluado y no lo voy a dejar evaluado porque yo sé el nivel de la actividad y lo que yo busco es que usted practique, no que usted copie. Aquí lo importante es que usted vaya y practique, ¿verdad? De forma sincera, honesta y que sienta que no es una evaluación, sino que es una evaluación formativa, pero no va en ningún momento objetiva, es decir, no se va a tomar en cuenta para el cuadro, para que no sienta la presión, ¿verdad? Que si fallo, voy a tener mala nota, mejor copio, porque a veces hacemos eso y no es correcto. No es correcto porque llegará el momento en que nos enfrentemos a eso solos. Pero el día de hoy pueden tomarlo, tienen hasta mañana a medianoche, ustedes deciden la hora que les conviene más, si lo quiere hacer, ¿verdad? Tampoco es que esté obligado a hacerlo, pero háganlo, practiquen, lean el vocabulario, identifiquen palabras que no saben, anótenlas, apréndanselas, eso les va a mejorar bastante el nivel de inglés que tienen. Ya se van a ir dando cuenta que entre más se van familiarizando, entre más van practicando, mejor van a ir sacando puntajes y van a ir aumentando su nivel de inglés. Así que esa es la actividad que tenemos después de esto, ya dentro de un poco. Usted decide, ¿verdad? Si tomar a las 9 o tomar la mañana, no hay ningún problema. Ahí está, lo único que nos sienta la presión que es una evaluación.